Hello, everybody. This is Roland Pruitt, and it's my Kaiju review show. We are on episode 22. We made it that far. We're going through all the Godzilla movies from the very beginning of the Showa series at Toho, all the way this season through the end of the Showa series, which would be Terror of Mechagodzilla. We are on Godzilla versus Gigan, which is episode 22. And let me bring up Anastasia and Professor Walnutt and our special guest from Japan, George Morgan.
Ohio.
Ohio.
Ohio,
konnichiwa. Welcome to the program.
Konnichiwa.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about Godzilla versus Gigan. This is a strange one because a lot of people, this is like one of their favorite Godzilla films. Not mine. I thought it was kind of weak, especially the human story in it. But a lot of people really like this one, I guess, because there's a lot of monster fighting footage in it.
It's a lot of kaiju action, and it's got King Ghidorah. I mean, what more do you need?
Well, you have Ultra Seven's girlfriend Anne, who's the most gorgeous girl ever, and she's in it, and she's a karate.
Is that Yuriko Hishima?
Yeah, that is. Yes, let me get the name. I didn't know because I have
Tamai,
karate sister. Yes,
the sister of the cartoonist.
Not the sister. The sister of the cartoonist is also a babe. Swing. Okay, but yeah.
So it's Tomoko Yomeda, who plays Mashiko Shima.
It's the one that plays the cartoonist's girlfriend with the checkered.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was his sister.
That one.
Okay.
I thought it was his sister too, but according to the write-up, it's his girlfriend.
It's his girlfriend. They don't have the same last name, so that's why I was like, oh, I wonder why they don't have the same last name. So that explains it. So he's making cartoons of evil kaiju that are dressed like her, his girlfriend. So we'll get into that a little later on. Let's go ahead and bring up our timeline. Anastasia, thank you so much for being here.
I love you so much. I'm here all the time, no matter when you need me, morning, noon, or night. I'm always available for you, Roland.
Well, that's good to know.
Thank you. And I love you too, George. I love you so much. You're from Ohio. Ohio is my favorite state in America. It's
Yes.
true America, Ohio. It's like heartland.
I guess you've never been to Cleveland.
No, never.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that. I don't upset the people there in Springfield. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
I've been told I'm hot in Cleveland.
In Baltimore?
Yes.
Okay. I think I got that reference. I'm not sure. So let me give you a little setup here. The budgets on these films are getting less and less and less. They kept cutting the budgets on these films, so they had to use stock footage a lot. They didn't even have enough money to pay Akira Ifukube for his music in the traditional sense. They just called him up and said, "Hey, can we use some of your old Godzilla music for this movie?" And he's like, "Yeah, all right." So again, we got a lot of reprocessed material going into this film.
There's only one new song. Only one new song that's not his.
That's the title song, right?
It's the ending song, I believe.
Oh, okay.
It could be the title, the ending. I believe it's the ending song. It's not the what's his name? Kurosawa. No. Not the conductor's music. It's not the conductor's. It's called the
Akira Ifukube.
It's not his music. That's the only song that was actually composed specifically for the movie.
Okay. I think I don't recognize the opening title song either. The one that plays at the very beginning here. Yeah. It doesn't sound like Akira Ifukube to me. Anyway, again, they're reprocessing a lot of material here, including music. So we start out with Godzilla on Monster Island. Da, 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 da. And then he just fires an atomic blast at the camera, and we get into the opening credits. That's it. And they're showing a lot of pieces of the control room where the bad guys in this film are, doing their evil bidding, their evil things. And that's the opening
quick
credits.
insert there. Quick insert is that the U.S. title was Godzilla on Monster Island, and one of the reasons was that opening scene.
Okay, yeah, I know there's posters out there that you can buy. They're very expensive because again they changed the name of the movie, kind of like Revenge of the Jedi and Return of the Jedi, but yeah, like you said, it says Godzilla on Monster Island. Yeah,
And
but he's actually only on Monster Island a few minutes.
and the poster is god awful. You had the poster.
Yeah, it's got him like in an amusement park or something, right?
And I go, who is that? And it doesn't look like Godzilla at all. Anyway.
It doesn't. It looks like a very cheap Godzilla. All right. So this is a very cheap film. All right. But again, I don't want to bust on it too much because it's a lot of really diehard fans' favorite. So we start out with a bunch of, and it's cartoons, people screaming and shouting. And they're shouting and screaming at the kaiju this cartoonist has made up.
Yes, and please tell me what the cartoon says. It's written in Japanese only, so please tell me.
I have no idea. What does it say?
It's too fast. I didn't catch it. I haven't paused it, so I didn't catch it either. It's just a typical.
It's not on the picture there. I thought.
Okay, I'm looking at my picture here. Hold on. No. I'm pausing it. Let's see. Shokuara untia yo itoa. So I don't know that kanji. Yeah. So that's all. It's just exclamations of Japanese words. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of typical manga.
So the cartoonist is Gango Kotaka.
Yes.
And he's at a publisher's house. The editor is played by Akio Murata. And he does not like what Gango is showing him. He's like, this is not so good. So he tells him get lost, basically, in not so many words.
Well, I love the line because what is the monster invisible?
It's like, no, it's the monster of homework. It's the monster of bad mothers.
And this movie is so good. This is one of my favorites. This movie is so good because it basically is the script of a television series. It does a very simple script with has female and male characters, and it's mostly the monsters that you focus on. I said characters, but it's the monsters that you're rooting for.
It does seem kind of like an episode of like Ultraman, except long, and with Godzilla. You're right. So anyway, there he is with his girlfriend. I thought it was his sister, but there he is with his girlfriend. And this actor, Hiroshi Ishikawa, this was the only Godzilla movie he did. And I'm kind of happy about that because he's an over actor. He really mugs for the camera. He's one of those guys. And the editing of the English version really doesn't help out on that. He just really mugs for the camera and he overacts. And that really drives me nuts.
I thought he was the best part of the movie. Quite frankly, I found his performance really riveting and delightful.
Well, there it is. We disagree. We agree to disagree. So yeah, his performance is a little over the top.
That's everybody.
And we go to Godzilla Land. It's Children's Land, actually, is what it's called. They're building a children's land. It's kind of like a Disneyland, but a big Godzilla tower in the middle, which is kind of weird. And
they have to build this in the future. It's still not in Tokyo area or anywhere in Japan. They have to build it.
They haven't done it yet. They should. They're going to put a zip line that goes right into Godzilla's mouth there. Actually, there is something over there that has that, but it's like Shin Godzilla, where you can zip line into its mouth. So anyway, Gengo's girlfriend says, "Why don't you go over there and see if they'll like your cartoons? Maybe they can use them somehow at Children's Land." And that's a good idea. So he goes over, and I don't know why, but all of these guys that work in this place wear pink and orange together, which is kind of vomit-inducing.
It's an odd combination, yes.
I'm going to go ahead and spoil here and just say they're cockroach people. Okay, so I guess they wouldn't really know if orange and pink don't go together.
The main actor, the second in command actor, the glasses and the little mustache, he's very famous. He's a famous Japanese television actor, and he was in like 30 or 40 television series in Japan as one of the main characters.
Yes.
But the one he's most known for is Gavin. And Gavin is basically like Kamen Rider or Power Rangers, sort of.
I thought,
Gavin.
I thought he was on Kamen Rider. Okay.
No, he was Gavin.
Gavin, okay.
It's
so
different.
He's
it's different.
Toshiaki Nishizawa.
Yes, and he's he's known for being on that. On his Wikipedia page and the Japanese pages. It's the guy from Gavin.
He's done 30 shows, but that's the one that stuck.
Yeah.
And he plays a cockroach guy in this. They talk about Monster Island a little bit, and how they're going to pitch that to the kids. And he's like, maybe we can use your cartoons. You seem like you know what you're doing. And Gengo is very happy. He seems to have gotten a job. There's some stock footage from Destroy All Monsters where they introduced the monsters on Monster Island: Rodan, Anguirus, Godzilla.
It's all
so
stock.
Officially, this is a Rodan film. Rodan is in it, but it's stock footage.
That's Radon. Okay, keep going.
We've gone through this before. Yes, Japanese pronunciation Radon.
Radon.
Okay, so he shows. His girlfriend sees a picture of these when working on. She's the, I guess it was the kaiju of unfit mothers or something, and she's wearing the same outfit.
Over strict,
like, oh, really?
Strict mothers.
And he's like,
strict mothers.
So he just kind of sloughs it off with one of his comical laughs. And
is there a certain resemblance here?
A certain resemblance.
That's what she said.
There he is. No, don't think about it. Please.
And I know if there's one thing I noticed rewatching this, since I watched it so many times as a kid, and later in the 80s and some in the 90s, but it's how many people are actually smoking. Every scene there's like
somebody's smoking. Yeah. They again, it's part of the culture. Here, smoke with me. Let's be friends. So he goes into the building to show them some new sketches that he's come up with. And this is when the spy girl comes out, Mashiko Shima, who's played by Tomoko Yomeda. And she bumps into him and drops a tape, which he picks up. And when the other guys come out, looking all serious and badass, he decides to pocket the tape. Even though he works for them, you would think he would just give it over. Hey, she dropped this. But then it would have been a short movie. So
the girl, by the way, the super spy girl, she's been after this. She only was in several films, but they were pink films. And if you don't know what pink films mean, in Japan, a pink movie is a movie like soft porn, I guess. It's just nudity.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's what because usually a Japanese movie.
Titles.
Give us titles. I have the list right here. And if you can see, but
text
a Japanese movie traditionally will have no nudity at all, nothing.
Right.
And sometimes we won't even see kissing. So a pink movie, it just goes the extreme. It's the holding hands is the ultimate to full nudity. There's no in between.
Meanwhile, a lot of the Godzilla films have actresses in bikinis. I remember Atragon, the beginning of the film.
Yes.
My Hama wears a bikini and You Only Live Twice, but that's not really a Japanese film. It's just filmed in Japan. Mia Hama, sorry. So that's funny. And again, the porn magazines over there just have like that, bikinis and underwear, right? They don't have any real.
You're going into a whole new rabbit hole. So
I shouldn't go down there, should I?
yes and no. If you go to a certain section, it's only this. But in every convenience store, every bookstore has the full nude, full rated XXX versions of everything that people are reading out in the open, like this on the train. I see a guy who's got a. Anyway, but they have them.
Different from Hong Kong.
It's either extreme or nothing. Bikinis, that's it. There's no in between.
Yes.
Okay, so continue. I had this discussion with many students, and I'm like, why Japanese are so crazy?
So we got some shtick here going on with the cameras following him. This is actually kind of a nod or a ripoff to You Only Live Twice, the scene where the camera follows Sean Connery and the Osato building.
Yeah. Do they have that same globe?
Where he jumps behind the globe. What?
They have that same globe, right, in the James Bond movie, correct?
Something like that. Yeah, it's standard issue. Standard issue for evil layers. So he goes in the office, and there's a young guy, mid to late teens, sitting behind the desk doing some serious math calculations. So he's super intelligent.
He's Japanese. There's no problem. Japanese high school student easily do that.
So obviously Gengo can't, because he's like, oh wow, oh wow. So the kid is like, what are you gawking at? What are you doing here? And he says, well, I'm the cartoonist. I'm Gengo. I do these cartoons of kaiju, and that's when Kubota comes in, who's let's call him the teacher. He was I guess Fumio Sudo is the young guy. And
the young alien, he's only done this. There's nothing in Japanese under him, because I looked to see what his actual age was, because he's supposed to be 17. He's supposed to be 17.
His name is Zan Fujita.
Yes, it's a very
this is it.
This is it.
He decided, I don't want to deal with this kind of making movies and stuff. It's crazy. I'm going back to regular life. Okay, so that night he starts to walk home, and he's confronted by Spy Girl and another guy, Shosaku Takazugi. You try to say that 5 times fast.
And his gun. Yes, go ahead. His gun is the corn on the cob that's wrapped in aluminum foil, and you get those everywhere. There's vendors everywhere that have that during certain seasons in Japan. So when I watched this many times, I didn't understand where he got that. And now living in Japan, I understand that's like common.
They're on the street everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, they have it, and it's this style. They cook the corn, and they wrap it in aluminum foil, and they give it to you, and that's it. It's
on a stick, right?
They put a little prong on the end, on the bottom, or the not rich farmer just cuts the cob with the stem on it.
Okay, all right. So it's a common snack that you can buy on the street.
Correct. During season, it's a seasonal snack. So it's during Obon and there's Setsubon, and there's different holidays that it has it.
Okay, must be close to the holiday then. So yeah, he's got it in his back, and he thinks it's a gun, and he faints. Gengo faints. What a He-Man. So I'm not sure why or how, but they take him back to his apartment. They're in his apartment. His sketches and stuff are on the wall. So my guess is they didn't have enough money to do another set for their apartment.
I like how they just know where he lives.
And they just know where he lives, and they take him back, and the door's open, so they put him on the sofa, and they put a little rag on his head.
They clearly they checked his pockets, found his wallet, and there was his ID. It's like, oh, this is where he lives.
Oh, look,
You know
here's
how hard
his
it is
keys
to find
too.
someone's address? How hard it is to find someone's address? If I see someone's address, I'm like, I have no idea where that is. In Japan, it's really difficult, even for Japanese.
Yeah.
I have to tell people this school level. I have to give them a full. I'm like, okay, you see this building? Oh, there's a police station over here, and there's a dojo over here, and there's a ramen shop over here, and you turn over here, and you have to turn just, and they still don't get lost. So anyway, and who carried him? She didn't carry him, and he didn't carry him. Did they drag his sorry butt across?
Yeah, each one grabbed a leg, dragged him up the sidewalk.
She weighs like 50 pounds, and he's.
It's much easier to just start the next scene in his apartment, and they're there. No explanation. That saves money. So she says, the tape that I got you, what did you do with it? And he goes, well, I put it in a safety deposit locker at the bus station or whatever. So they go and get it.
There's no bus station, by the way.
What's that?
Probably a train station.
Train station?
It's a station. It's just station. It's station, and they call it station. And there's sometimes buses, and it's always trains or taxis and stuff. But there's no bus to station.
Yeah. Those lockers are everywhere.
Meanwhile, back at the Godzilla Tower, her brother, Spy Girl, he's also a Shima. His name's Takashi Shima. He's played by Kunio Murai, who did a couple of these Toho Godzilla films in the 70s. He's working for these aliens, these cockroach guys, and he's starting to get, hey, I understand that what you're doing is not right here. It's not good for humankind. It's evil. And I don't want to have any part of this anymore. So they knock him out and they put him in the janitor's closet there, which has a lovely view of the front of the complex, by the way. They pointed that out on another show, and I thought that was pretty funny.
And the
sister has this great view of the front of the property. What?
The sister is 18 years old, and the brother looks maybe like 40, 35 or 40.
That's quite a span.
And who is? I have a question. Who is the corn guy? What's his relation to the sister? Because it doesn't say in the credits.
He's just some hippie guy that hangs out with her and eats corn.
Yeah. I think they're just like friends and co-conspirators and all that sort of business.
He's the fat friend that protects her.
Right. He's the comedy relief, essentially.
I can't believe I went
there
anyway.
And drags bodies around. Yes.
It's like, yeah, he helps her to drag
gravity.
When he's not eating corn. So, and he's got a name. I call him Fat Boy, but he's Shosako.
I just called him Hippie Dude.
Hippie Dude, yeah. Long-haired hippie dude.
He looks just like one of my friends, just so you know. Whenever I watch this, I picture my friend. What's he doing here?
He dresses like that?
He's 70s style, yes.
Oh, man. It's got a little goatee, long hair.
Yes.
All right, so they put the tape on a tape player and play it. It actually runs on a regular cassette tape player, I guess. And it's just this, and they don't know what it is. But somehow the sound from that tape can go all around the world and be heard by
Monster
kaiju
Island.
all over the world and out in outer space. And the guys at the office there, which we don't know how far away it is, they're like, "Hey, somebody's using the tape." They know, they can hear it, or their computers can hear it. So that's a pretty badass sound waves coming from that tape.
It's the tape player. Their tape player is really good.
It's a Memorex.
Yes.
You remember Memorex?
No, Japanese. It's got to be Fujita. It's got Fujita, or it can't be Sony, because Sony's a piece of crap back then. And it wasn't good until the late 70s. So
it'll break glass. It's got great sound waves coming out of it.
Rats.
So all right, so they're like, "Oh, well, we gotta track the tape. We gotta find it." And I can't see this; it's too dark on my phone.
It's Godzilla. It's Godzilla and the Guerrillas. This is where they start talking.
Right.
This is the scene where Godzilla talks to Anguirus. And in the English version, actually in both versions, Anguirus has his voice like, I don't know, like a drinking buddy. What do you want? What's going on?
In the English version is the only version that has them actually speaking. The Japanese version, the original Japanese version, it's only cartoon balloons.
Right.
Yes.
Right. They have cartoon balloons on the thing, but they have a it sounds like a record scratch thing for their
talking. Yes, that's correct.
It does have that, right?
Yes.
So that's
it has that.
Kaiju talk.
Yes, they do the Peanuts parents voice. Womp, 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 womp.
Go check it out, Anguirus. Something's going on.
Just talking about the dubbing. So you're talking about the dubbing. When I watched this 2 weeks ago, I haven't watched it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I only watched the Japanese version, but I watched the English version not 2 weeks ago, and I was listening to it, not watching. And I'm like, am I listening to Return of the Dragon or Fist of Fury? Because the voices sound exactly like, and they are.
It's the same guys.
It's the Hong Kong dubbing company that worked on this movie.
You killed my master. I will get revenge. Got it. So
you gotta move lips right. You gotta make. You killed my master. I'm going to get revenge on you.
Exactly.
Tomorrow.
Or maybe next week when I have time. So Gengo is kind of poking around trying to find the brother at the Godzilla tower there. And again, there's cameras all over the damn place. What the hell are you doing? Are you trying to get caught?
Well, he's wearing a helmet. He's wearing the helmet.
Going, haha, what are you doing?
He's wearing the helmet. That's a disguise.
I think I have a helmet here. I couldn't find it the other day. I can't find it now either. It's under a hat. Oh, here it is. I am disguised. You cannot recognize me.
Wait. Where's Mr. Pruitt? What happened to Mr. Pruitt?
Where's Mr. Pruitt? Where can he be?
Now, people that are watching this show in post, like years from now, are going to go, how the hell did he have a yellow hat just like that handy? So Kubata's like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, oh, I was looking for the bathroom, something like that. I can't remember what the hell he says. I was looking for you. I think that's what he says.
Yeah.
He goes, I have some sketches for you.
Yes.
Yeah, well, get away from the janitor closet. Get away from our prisoner closet, okay?
He looks like, he looks like a big, like he's wearing orange sherbet.
Hey, that's really cool 60s, 70s Japanese style. So
man, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, them pink and orange outfits. Love them. Gotta love them. All right, so
Need to bring those back.
So he goes back and he tells his sister, "Hey, I talked to your brother through the door, or he's in there. He's in a janitor closet at the front of the thing there." And he drops a lighter down on the table, and she goes, "Yes, that's his lighter." So it's confirmed to her that her brother is still alive and he's there.
Yes, his initials, TS.
So they decide they're going to go on a little fact-finding mission to find out more about Kubota and Fumio, the kid. And they find out where he's from, Fumio, and they take a little road trip. Meanwhile, Anguirus is swimming towards Tokyo.
Angeles.
Anguillas.
Angeles.
But it's spelled Anguirus. Am I correct?
I'm just giving you the Japanese pronunciation, whether in English. And what's funny is that
in the English movies they call him Anguillas. And a couple of them say Anguirus.
It's like when Ghidorah comes up, it's pronounced Ghidorah. It's not Ghidorah, it's Ghidorah. So it's a matter of the Japanese pronunciation, and then the English version of the pronunciation is different. So all of them are correct if for yourself, because they're names.
I see.
I just call him Fred.
I call him Barney. Okay, no, that's bad.
Ghidorah. So hey, it's King Ghidorah. That was my Nick Adams impersonation. Anyway, so they go to his hometown. Gengo and hippie guy, Shosaku.
And they find out that he was a junior high student. And the guy with the pink jacket was his English teacher.
Correct.
And they died climbing a mountain.
Correct.
When they were mountain climbing, and the neighbor says it can't be the guy you're looking for because the kid was dumb as bricks.
Dumb as a rock.
Dumb as a rock.
And that's his mother. So wow.
His mother is standing there.
His mother's like 60 years old.
Yes, and it's like last year.
She must have had him like 45. So that's why he was dumb as a rock. But this
I don't think she looks that old.
He's a grade A student. And yes, you're right. It's kind of weird that he says that right in front of the mother.
Wait,
that's my son you're talking. That's my dead son you're talking about.
Well, he kind of whispers it, but yeah.
He said, "So desu ne, so desu ne." That means that's right. I think so too.
Now, is it just me, or does the black and white picture of them, doesn't it look like this would be the Japanese Batman and Robin? It's like that's Bruce Wayne and
he's got his hands on his hips. No.
Come on, chum.
Holy cockroach aliens, Batman.
Exactly.
You know, the reason they have pictures like that too is that every year the schools make a book with pictures of everyone, and they give it out, sometimes free, depends on the school. In Japan, my son just finished junior high, and they get this huge, I go, what's this huge book? I go, wow. I go, where'd you get this book? I know they give this to every student all the time. Really? I get it in high school and I had to pay for it.
I had to pay for it, yeah.
Yeah, the yearbook.
But they give it all elementary school, junior high, and high school. They get books. Nice. And there's pictures of everyone.
Because you want to remember those things.
Yes, and I don't remember anything from school. I think, especially the whips. Those are hard to forget. But
and Kubota does not have the pencil-thin, sleazy mustache as the teacher.
Or the glasses.
Because in Asian culture, on the TV shows and movies, all of the villains have facial hair. some kind. So that tells you they're a villain. So now he's a villain. He's a cockroach guy from outer
space. Sometimes arched eyebrows.
No.
Sometimes.
Unless
you're
Doki doki. Sometimes doki doki.
So they actually let Takashi out of his closet to work a little bit, which I thought was okay. But they end up conking him out again and putting him back in the closet because they're trying to contact Kaiju to come and destroy the world from outer space. This would be a great if somebody could find that tape and play it in a new Godzilla movie and have a bunch of kaiju from outer space attack Earth. That'd be a great plot thing. Like to harken back to Gigan, to the original Gigan. Hey, we found this tape at a garage sale. Meanwhile, Gigan, Mechalon, all these space monsters come out, start attacking Earth. That'd be cool. And then Godzilla and all the monsters on Monster Island have to fight them all. That would be cool. Anyway, just
cool.
Pontificating. Now, this guard here, he's a smart guard. He sees things when they happen, He was in Yog Monster from Space as a catatonic islander who was attacked by Godzilla. And this general is also a general from previous Godzilla films, including Monster Zero.
And I like how well, no, we haven't got that far yet. Sorry, I was going to say how Monster General when both Ghidorah and Gigan come, and they're just listening to it, he can tell by the sound which one is which.
He goes, "Oh, that's Ghidorah, yeah," but he says, "I don't know that second one. That's a new one."
I was like, "Wow, your ears are wow."
Man, you're good. You're a good general. All of the footage of the military stuff in this is stock footage.
Yes.
All of
except
it.
for like two things.
Really?
Yeah, it has a full list on the Wazilla.org, and it lists this is stock and this is stock. I don't have it in front of me right now. Oh. Anyway, they got a full list, and it tells which one is stock and which one wasn't stock.
Wow. So they saved a lot of money on that.
And they actually don't look like miniatures at all. Whenever I see it, I go, those definitely don't like miniatures, because tanks always go like this when they go over terrain.
So there's the Mazers from War of the Gargantuas.
Yes.
And they're going to fire at Anguirus when Anguirus comes to shore. Now, I'm not sure why, but Anguirus in this scene looks like they did a really bad paint job on the suit. There's like black splotches and stuff on it. There's gold over here.
Money on it. They just used it. I think it's the standard.
But in the rest of the movie, he's gray. He's the classic gray Anguirus. But in this scene, for some reason, he's got spots of gold, spots of black on him.
They actually put a light on him, and all the other scenes, it's always without a spotlight on the costume.
There you go. Maybe that's it.
It's just you're actually just seeing the stuff that you don't normally see, because they don't put the lights on it in the shot, so you're never going to see it, and it blends right in. It just blends right in with the lighting.
All right.
Because they're not spending anything on this movie.
Not at all.
Zen.
So yeah, they just spent a little bit of money to kind of doctor up the suits a little bit so that they looked okay, and I think they re-spray painted King Ghidorah, and that's about it. A couple of cans of Krylon were ready to go. So yeah, they zap him with the Mazers, and Anguirus is not a very powerful kaiju. I mean, he loses just about every battle. He fights with monsters. They even say that in a comic book somewhere. I can't remember which one.
He can't beat anybody.
Never won a battle. Period. because somebody was rooting for Anguirus in a fight. I think he was fighting the Destroyer, which is a really badass monster. And the guy says, "Let me make this clear: Anguirus has never ever won a fight, a kaiju fight." So Anguirus turns his ass and goes right back into the drink. Nah, that hurts.
Yes.
So the guys are happy because they hear at the Godzilla Tower that Anguirus has now turned tail and run. Wonder why Godzilla didn't come.
And this is where he finds the brother.
Right.
Oh,
that's right. When he went into the
he only got the lighter.
He just found his lighter. That's right. I'm sorry.
That's right. He couldn't open that door, and he found the lighter only.
Yeah, the door was open, so he went in, and he found the lighter. That's what it was. So this time he's actually talking to the brother through the door. The brother is trying to put a pipe cleaner through the door or something. Dirty keyhole. And if it had poked Gango in the eye, it would have been a funnier bit. But little Inspector Clouseau there. Oink. Ah. Again, Kuboto is right on top of him. What the hell are you doing?
Well, you got cameras everywhere.
I was just cleaning the floor.
It's my greatest masterpiece.
I thought I saw a spot of cocaine down there.
Spot of cocaine.
Spot of cocaine.
I don't know where that came from. I really don't. Sometimes, they just come out of nowhere. Well, you're wearing a pink suit. Purple. I'm sorry, an orange.
And
suit.
I like how he gives it here. Here's a pack of cigarettes for you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm pissed off at you because you're spying around. Hey, here's a pack of cigarettes.
I would leave him in the elevator. I mean, what do you think?
That's
I'm
not.
I want cancer. What?
I'll buy my own cigarettes. I hope you don't expect anything for this.
And he's smoking. The next scene, he's freaking smoking a cigarette. I mean, he smokes like 3 of them by the time he gets to the apartment.
He only puffs like 2 puffs and then he stamps it out. Which
I know.
but
you got to think that the minute he got off the elevator, he lit one up. And the minute he got on the train or wherever he gets to his apartment, he lit one up. And then by the time he gets to he's lit another one. So, and by the time they show the pack, it's like half gone.
He went through half a pack already. I didn't even notice that. That's funny. But yeah, he goes to that. He only takes like a puff or 2 of that cigarette and he stomps it out at the downstairs. And that's where we see that it's got a homing device, a tracking device in it. I put the tracking device in the cigarette box. We should find out where the spies are. And sure enough, yeah, they go back to his place, meet up, and right afterwards, Kuboto and his men show up. Hey, we're gonna kill you now.
And they get hair dryers.
You like those? Do you like those cigarettes we gave you?
And then Anne comes in from Ultra 7.
And she knows
She's
kung
a
fu.
karate expert.
She's a
karate. Kung fu, no,
expert.
it's karate. There's no kung fu.
She's a karate.
But how did Gavin get beat up? He's also an expert. And she weighs like 6 pounds too. I don't know how she's really small.
So got to just suspend disbelief.
I love how they go to the police station and they say it, and the police like, oh, whatever, until you have evidence. This is Japanese police style. In my experience, my police station's next to my house, okay? I've had a car come out and go, rah, 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 and do donuts and then take off. And I was waiting for the police car to come out and nothing came out. And another time, someone lit firecrackers right in front of the police station. And no one came out.
It's the Yakuza. They got balls, those guys.
So
Isaburo.
the police like, yeah, whatever. We're busy doing paperwork.
I think we got a delay. Isaburo Komatsu is the police officer in that scene. It's a cameo done by one of the actors who does a lot of the Godzilla films, a lot of the Toho Showa Godzilla films. And yeah, he just basically says, "Get lost. Stop wasting my time." But no, seriously, they're kidnapping and they're giving us cigarettes.
My brother's in there right now, and I can't get him out. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
He's like, "Go sleep it off." So Andreas goes back to Godzilla and says, "Hey, they kick my ass." And, man. So Godzilla says, "Let's go together." And yeah. The alarm says Godzilla is escaping Monster Island. So we get a scene of Godzilla walking into the water. And they somehow hear the message in the Godzilla tower. So they're not happy because they know now Godzilla's coming. So they put the tape in and they send the message out to the Kaiju. Even though Children's Land is not finished yet, they're going to bring the Kaiju in. So the signal goes out into outer space, and two monsters hear it: King Ghidorah and Gigan.
Yes, Ghidorah, and I'm not familiar with that sound of the second one. Okay, yes.
Cheer. And somebody called him a space parrot, which I think is apropos.
Yes, he looks like a space parrot.
He's a space parrot
with one big red eye.
He's a great big buzzsaw-bellied cyclops of a space parrot.
Yeah.
You know, I really expected like laser beams or something to come out of the eye. I don't think it does it?
Yes. Laser beams do come.
He does.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
He's got a laser beam eye. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So, it's on the poster,
all right,
too.
Here's the thing that I really, really hate about this film is their penchant for detail and accuracy. It takes Godzilla and Anguirus hours to swim to Toho.
Yes.
Literally.
To Toho? The company?
I'm
Yes.
sorry, Tokyo.
To Japan. To Tokyo, yes.
To Japan. Yeah. It could be, it could be some other coastal town. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the ocean Godzilla suit, which looks very different. The head looks very different from the other Godzilla suit.
It does look.
But that's the waterproof suit because Nakamura-san, Haru Nakamura, right?
Yes, it's his last movie too.
Nakajima. This was his last.
Hold on, let me get.
He almost drowned when he was in Godzilla versus Ebirah.
Yes, Ebirah.
So okay, now they're going to try to break out the brother. Takashi's going to get busted out.
And they're very good.
They go inside again where all the cameras are. They go right inside to bust him out. Not a smart move, and they get caught.
Imagine that. And they why are they so afraid of hair dryers? I don't understand. But Anne beats the crap out of a couple of guys. She just totally comes in and just beats the total.
Oh yeah, these two guys. Yeah, these again. All the guys that are henchmen in this are in most of the Toho films. Somewhere. They're like day actors. They're character actors who playing all the Toho Godzilla films and stuff. So yeah,
the cinematography, like on this scene right here of them pointing the guns, but you see them standing behind them. It's a great cinematography. It's a good camera move because it's a mirror. And then they turn it to. That's a really for cinematography. That's really good. You're not going to see that in a lot of new movies now, especially in the U.S.
They do it with CGI.
Just that shot.
So outside, Spy Girl and Hippie Guy, they're like, uh-oh, they've been in there too long. Something's wrong. I told him not to go in there with all those cameras. So Kubota decides he's going to have a James Bond moment where he's going to tell them everything.
Yeah.
Because they're going to kill him soon, right? You know, they don't just kill him right now. They got to tell their secret plan.
They got to use their bodies for the next hosts. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I wonder where the henchmen came from. I wonder if they died in the accident around on the mountain too. They should get mountain climbers.
They probably just hired him because only those two are roach people. I think all the rest of them are.
They have to all be roach people, otherwise they.
I think it's all roach.
But then they show
people,
the scenes from. Don't the next thing they show the save the earth, he's on destruction, he's on it from Hedera.
The previous
Hedera footage.
So yeah, yes, we're getting shots of the Earth or the planet that these aliens are from is like Earth, and they wasted it. They polluted it, and it went bad, and they took over because they were cockroach people.
And I think the writers have to do mathematics a little bit better, or timing of time zone. They state they only polluted the Earth for 100 million years. Huh? 100 million? The Earth right now is being polluted for 400 years since the Industrial Revolution, and it's getting bad. But 100 million?
Well, at that time it was. We've cleaned up a lot since then, but yeah. And in the early 70s, the pollution was really bad. We didn't clean up after ourselves.
Yes.
We were lazy tenants. So the lights go out, the lightning bolt strikes, lights go out, and we see a shadow on the wall of the two guys and their cockroach people. And I love the look on Kubota's face in this scene. It's so sinister and he's so happy to be a cockroach guy. Yes, I'm a cockroach man. Yeah. It's so funny. Makes me laugh every time. Now, Fumio is just kind of sitting there glaring at him still like he usually does. I hate being in this movie. I'm never doing another movie again after this. So he just scowls. So they're like, oh, you're cockroach people. Yes, we are cockroach people.
How does the shadow, if they're doing, they said they're inside the actual human shells. So these are the actual dead people. And they're hosts to the dead people.
Zombies.
So how does the shadow show the cockroach? I don't understand.
Like Edgar and Men in Black. I always thought, I didn't realize that they took over the dead bodies because they would decompose, right? I always thought that it was just like there was some kind of thing that they emitted that made people look at them and see them as somebody that they know, somebody that they knew.
Well, from what I've watching the last 2 weeks and researching, it's they take the shell of the body and they use the body.
Okay, so they're zombies.
Yes, basically zombies.
Cockroach zombies. They're cockroach zombie aliens. This is your favorite scene where the general goes, "Hey, that's King Ghidorah coming." I don't know that second one. Now, I want to point out that this poor general only has a very small control room and like two guys working for him. And he's supposed to be the head of the, like the Kaiju committee.
They couldn't afford to hire more actors, or they couldn't afford to use more stock footage of people.
Oh, man, it's a very sparse control room, too. Reprocessed, but again, the Godzilla Tower room is kind of cramped, too. I mean, when they get them all in there, it's kind of tight. it's a Godzilla head. So yeah, here's the military coming out again. And when King Ghidorah and Gigan are flying, like here, it's obviously like a little model on a string.
No, it's definitely them flying like real. Their wings. It's definitely. I don't see any fake at all.
Their wings are not moving at all.
Looks like
Their
two
heads,
toys I have in
Ghidorah's
my
head
room.
is supposed to go, but
Yeah.
Ghidorah's heads are not moving at all. It's just stiff. It's like when I
Wait a
fly,
minute.
I fly with
What?
purpose.
What?
We got a phone call.
Okay.
It's always nice to know you got a phone call during the show. All right, so yeah, everything's back to normal. King Ghidorah and Gigan are flying around the top of the Godzilla head.
And they only can control the two monsters as long as the tape is running. So how long does that tape run?
It's on a loop.
It's on how they're going to switch it back. When they switch it back, do they start attacking? What happened? No, okay, it's on a loop. It's on a loop.
There you go. Automatically rewinds. Takes a split second. Yes. I still work for you. So yeah, they're all still in the control room now. And they're watching King Ghidorah and Gigan models fly by the window. So Fumio says, start the attack. And that's when we see the real King Ghidorah with the heads bobbing and the real Gigan in the suit.
Do you have a picture of Gigan kicking the department store? And there's two dolls in the department store, and they're the Japanese Barbie. I just watched the scene over. It's a Japanese Barbie. It's called Risa.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know.
Okay.
Could be in here. I'm not sure. Stock footage from Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. He detects the same goddamn mobile oil station that he's attacked in like 5 movies.
We got to keep this clean. Gosh darn.
Yeah, well, it's not for kids, folks. Sorry. That's my disclaimer. So, yeah, they're attacking. Now, meanwhile, Godzilla and Anguirus are still swimming. They're still swimming.
See, this is what makes this movie great, is that there is how much time left in the movie? There is 30 minutes left, almost 40 minutes left in the movie, and it's just fight scenes. It's just fight scenes.
Okay.
So it's just monsters fighting, basically, for 40 minutes.
Yeah. So King Ghidorah is zapping things. His electric ray looks different than the previous films, but there it is. He's zapping oil refineries and stuff like that. Airplanes come and shoot at Gigan. The airplane footage is pulled from Godzilla versus Abira, and they just matched it with Gigan footage that they shot. Yes, our plan is working splendidly. And we've got our backs to our captives. They can walk right out. They used the masers again. We used the reprocessed footage again from Gargantua's. That's not Gigan. That's Gargantua. That's Gara.
That's the same.
That's a Kaiju.
The car got crushed. Wow. That was a good shot.
Okay, this is probably one of the 2 original scenes you were talking about, because I don't think Gara destroyed the masers with like any kind of ray or anything. So
it says the Type 70 Maser cannon, there's some new footage. Some of the footage. And the Type 61 tank, there's some new footage. And the Mitsubishi F-86 Sabre jet, there's some new footage. And the 24 twin rocket car, there's some new footage.
Okay, that's more than 2.
Yeah, I did. I said a few. I didn't know, but most of the footage is stock. So what I'm saying, they maybe just have like a one
90%,
shot.
if not more.
It might
And
be just a
they
picture
come.
of some of those.
Hurry, hurry! They're destroying the city. Okay.
This is Japanese translation. Sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, the attack continues. They continue to try to figure out, can we get out of here somehow?
I love how Godzilla's swimming scene. He's got left arm goes up, and the left arm goes up, and the left arm goes up. No right, just the left, and the left, and the left.
I have a little problem with that shoulder blade, so he just uses the left arm.
Well, that's what took them so long. They were just swimming in circles.
It's only the left.
There you go.
It's every scene.
Hey,
It's
we
only the
use both
left.
hands. Let's go. Okay.
Okay. And you can go farther on the scene. It's all fight scene. Oh, he destroys the Titanic. I forgot he destroyed the Titanic.
That's right.
So finally they get there. Finally. Ghidorah just laughs. You think you're going to beat me, do you? Godzilla is here.
You know, I had my my 3-inch toys of all the characters, but I couldn't find my my Gigan.
Gashapin?
Yes, I have.
All the Gashapins?
All I could find was.
I have sold most
all
of
I could find was Godzilla.
Gojira.
This is actually the one from Mecha Godzilla.
So now we find out that Godzilla, anytime Godzilla uses his atomic heat ray on Flying Gigan goes down like a sack of potatoes. He does it like 3 times.
There's no momentum. No momentum at all. You don't follow laws of physics. They cut the wire over him.
So Ghidorah is zapping, where he thinks he needs to zap, to keep the fight fair. And hippie guy and the girl, the spy girl, they show up with a rope and a giant balloon. They're going to send a rope up.
The first time. He's got the same clothes and she's changed.
Well, hey, that tells you something. Maybe he's closer than just a friend. Took you guys a long time to get out here with that rope. She is a softcore actress. They were doing another movie on the set next to take off your bikini. So they send the balloon up and it takes the rope up to the window. It puts the lotion on its skin and places it in the basket.
And they actually built that. Did they build that foot of the Godzilla? Because when they show the foot, they're actually there's like a foot you see they're standing next to, and of course the balloon. That's definitely not the.
That's where most of the budget went.
So actually,
to build that foot.
Just that one foot, one left foot. Wow. They should rename the title Godzilla plus one left foot.
And one left foot.
It's not his left foot. It's not my left foot. It's one left foot. Okay.
So they grab the rope. They secure it. With the rope comes some heavy clamps that you can use to swing down the rope, spin down the rope. It's a nice little setup. So
that's really them swinging down. It looks just like it. It doesn't look like a toy at all. Watching the scene right now live, and I'm like, they're shaking like this, like it's a toy figure on a rope, on a string.
And they decide to cut the rope, but they're too late. Everybody got down.
Yes, with the hairdryer. The hairdryer is very good.
And they decide they're going to zap their car when it leaves full of them. And that will be the end of that problem. Why they didn't just kill them earlier, I don't know. But this establishes that the Godzilla tower shoots a laser out of its mouth. A triple
and that's
laser.
That's the only time it actually hits something, when it hits the car.
That's not true. It hits Godzilla several times.
I know. It misses. How can you miss?
So like, hey, it's a good thing we didn't get in the car. And the hippie guy's like, oh man, I still had payments to make on that car.
Yeah, I know. Damn.
So, stock footage from Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. See how his beam is different in that?
Yeah.
His electro beam.
Yellow and blue.
They had a bigger budget to
Better animation.
could afford better animation on this one. Yes.
And they're changing the Godzilla costumes, though. The stock footage, it shows different costumes.
Yes. Which I hate. I can't stand it when they do that, when they use different Godzilla movie stock footage and you see different Godzilla.
After this one, they changed the Godzilla costume. I think in Megalon, I know definitely in Mechagodzilla, it's a different costume.
Yes.
But I don't know if they're the same. Okay.
I have a theory about that. He's got the puppy dog face in Megalon. I think that's actually Nina grown up. That's my theory. And he looks a little meaner and older in the next one, which is Terror of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Oh, there was a huge, at Toho, there was a huge kerfuffle about the blood on Godzilla. Because the original creators didn't want, I can't remember what the name, did not want blood at all. Because it's for children. And this one is the first one where you see a significant amount of blood.
Yeah.
Compared to...
But on Godzilla, not on people.
Yes. Yes, on Godzilla, yes. But in blood...
This is how they got away with monster blood in the Gamera films, too. There's a lot of gory graphic stuff going on in the Gamera films, but it's the monsters. Yeah. It's like arms getting cut off of monsters. It's legs getting slashed.
Gigan and Ghidorah and
Yeah.
And Gauss, with the laser,
Now, they go to the general's there. Look at that small control room. They go to the general's office. He lets them in. There's no security at all. He's just like, they saw Godzilla. Yeah, let them in. And they tell him, that all about the cockroach people and, and everything. And he buys it 100%. There's like no doubt.
The police.
He tells them, the movie's budget is really small, so I can only give you a small squad of men and some dynamite in boxes. And we're not even sure there's any dynamite in the boxes. So we have Gigan attacking Godzilla, and the tower starts shooting at Godzilla
and missing most of the time.
Yeah, Godzilla. And Godzilla goes down. He's not the king of the monsters at the moment. And what are we looking at here? Oh, they're using the squad of men comes up to the actual elevator, and they set up their little bomb with the boxes of dynamite and the canvas that has cartoon characters drawn on it.
Yeah, he drew that.
Painted on it.
That's it. That's his comics he's giving that he's supposed to draw for the company. That's the meaning behind that.
No, he's again, what he wants is for them to shoot at it. If they're dumb enough to go, wait a minute, that's not a real person, that's a cartoon, but I'm going to shoot at it anyway.
No, you have to hit deep thinking on here. Deep thinking.
They are cockroach guys, they can't be too intelligent. They didn't go to school here.
Oh, there's the blood. Oh, blood.
Blood on Godzilla nose.
And when did he actually draw that picture? That would take like a long time.
If you're a good cartoonist, you can whip that out fast.
What? 2 days?
Just because it's bigger doesn't mean he can't whip it out fast. And believe me, it looks like it was drawn fast to me.
Yeah, that's what she said. That's what she said. Okay, never mind.
So more attacking. This time, Gigan is holding off Anguirus with his buzzsaw belly.
Somebody desperately needs to make a band called Buzzsaw Belly.
Buzzsaw belly. TNT. It's
Dynamite. TNT.
So they just roll this canvas up so that when the elevator door opens, the guys will see our heroes pointing at them, guns at them.
Yeah, but I was very sad they destroyed the Godzilla, the tower or whatever. The Godzilla. I didn't want them to. The whole thing. They have to keep that. They can't destroy. They can destroy the aliens.
All right. So would that fool you? I ask you. Would that fool you? But evidently it fooled them. They even got hippie guy there. And look at Takashi. Oh my God, they did a terrible job on Takashi. But they shoot it, and the dynamite goes up, blows up the whole top of the tower. Would that fool you? I mean, seriously. Look at how she's standing. Hey, I'm going to shoot you now.
It definitely nothing.
Takashi looks terrible.
Well, you know, he had to draw it really quickly.
He did it in less than 6 hours.
Yes. Seriously, a good cartoonist could probably whip that giant canvas out in about 2 hours.
Yeah, but when did he do it? It's only been like 10 minutes. 20 minutes. So he made it like the day before. There's no time between the car blowing up and them getting the general. There hasn't been time.
They took the train.
Stop overthinking this.
Stop
asking questions.
Here's the control room.
He made it yesterday thinking that they were good friends.
That's it.
And we get the transformation from cockroach or from people back to cockroaches.
So and then you get did they destroy the body? So the zombie body burned up, and then their cockroach body is there. So it's confusing. It's multiple confusing. But it's great.
That's why special effects money to do that.
It keeps you thinking. So how many movies are the aliens like another species?
Yeah, see, when they shot the guys in Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, their faces turned into ape faces. I'm not sure about that one either, but
the gorilla, yeah.
And the gorilla faces. But okay, so now Ghidorah and Gigan are not controlled by the aliens because they just blew up so they're kind of confused, like, where the hell are we? What the hell? Hey, is that Godzilla? He kicked my ass 5 years ago.
Yeah, but he kicked your ass because he was with fucking Radon and Mothra together. 3 of them had to fight Ghidorah.
Yeah.
So Ghidorah is stronger than all 3 of them. And Gigan is definitely stronger than Anguirus, and Anguirus could just run away.
I'm done. So
I love
yeah,
Anguirus bites Ghidorah's neck and just hangs on. He flies while he's hanging onto that neck.
And again, that's stock footage from Destroy All Monsters. So I mean, they really didn't spare. They spared all expense.
Yes, they went all in to use as much stock footage as possible, and that's what makes this movie great. It's just fight scenes and stuff from before, and stuff you want to see again.
Now look at his underarms, Godzilla. Look at the stuff hanging off of his arms there.
That's great.
That suit's Needs a little repair, I think. Or at least some better
But
deodorant.
they use it. See, in another scene, they use another. They use so many different suits because it's stock footage plus different suits. How many different suits did they actually use for this filming? And how many? And of course, how many stock footage suits did they use? They used Destroy All Monsters suit. They used a Ghidorah. They used so they use other movies. Ebora suit. Those are all different suits, or at least time destroyed suits.
Yeah. So
wear and tear.
Oh, this is about
This is the Angular. This is the Angular.
Yeah. Bites his neck.
The Angular.
And he's thrown off and he falls to the ground. And Gigan goes to fly and Godzilla zaps him again. Boom! Drops like a rock.
Yeah, the breath really does a job on gravity. It nullifies it.
It's anti-gravity beam now. And he usually hits something when he falls down to something big. So it's like adds insult to injury. Adds injury to injury. And he does it again. That's 3 times now. And he lands on one of the children's hospital there, I guess. Well, there goes that. And this is where Godzilla grabs Ghidorah and pulls him by the necks. I think I saw this move in a porno movie. And the other Anguirus spikes him. He just jumps backwards with his spikes going into his belly. I don't know what I'm seeing here.
The fight thing, it's all out action. It's just you just have to tell people you have to watch the action scenes not once. You have to rewind to the last 40 minutes, and you can watch the last 40 minutes at least 3 times because that's what I did when I actually got the VHS.
Looks like they're flying away, maybe.
Yeah, they're running away.
Yeah, they're
Run away! Run away!
Run away! Run away! So yeah, there it is. Godzilla and Anguirus.
Teeth.
Yay! And they're like, "Hey, the Kaiju won! All right, Godzilla and Anguirus won."
Yes.
Let me get a selfie. There were no mobile phones back then. Sorry, Paul. So
they have mobile phones. The government has mobile phones. The Army has mobile phones.
In 71?
The mobile phone is the big
72?
phone that the Army uses. Those were called mobile phones.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the walkie-talkies, yes.
Oh, that's
yes,
right.
Those are called mobile phones.
They're mobile phones, that's right.
Because they're mobile and they're phones.
And my buddy had one. We got mobile phones. We can talk to Godzilla on the after Monster Island. Okay.
So they're off. They're walking off into the sunset. Again, the entire fight scene, because the costumes look so bad, took place at night. They saved on lights. We couldn't afford lights, electricity, or wind cameras. We couldn't afford electricity for the film, so yeah, it's at night. Everything's at night.
And whoever invested in this children's park lost a buttload of money.
Yes.
Yes,
indeed.
But there's parks
we
like
trust
this.
Those cockroach aliens.
There's parks like this in every state, or say prefecture. Like the one I live in, I live in Okayama. And Okayama is not famous and it's not many people, but there are at least a dozen theme parks like this, about this size, that stuff, and no one is ever there. We go there and like, there's nobody here. And like one worker's like, hold on a second, I'm doing this ride. I'll come over and take that ride for you in a second.
Man of many hats.
And the food
okay.
is so good.
Let me. Is that sarcasm?
Yes, sarcasm to the max. It's like if you
get a sausage sandwich, it'll make you sick.
Yeah, it's a quick. It's preparation H. What's that? The opposite? No, that's
Put the toilet paper in the freezer, honey. We're going to the carnival.
okay.
So the girl sees a cockroach on the ground. Ah! You know, she screams
it's one of them,
louder
so
than
she
when she
smashes
saw a
it.
guy cockroach up in the Godzilla head. And again, they would go by
The last song I think is the new song is I think this one here. Can you listen? Hold on.
Can't be more than 30 seconds.
That one right there at the end.
Okay. Dun, dun.
That one right there. I think that's a new song. Oh, there. Now, I forget because I haven't watched the English one. I only watched the Japanese ones the last 2 weeks. Is it in English, that song? Is it in Japanese? They keep that song?
I think they keep it Japanese.
Okay, they keep it. Because I know in Megalon, I think they changed it to English at the end of the song.
Yeah. Yeah, they do, actually.
That's next time. Okay, yes. All right, we did it.
Jaguar, fight! Jaguar.
I love this music.
Jaguar. All right, so you get a nice little last roar from Godzilla. And they swim off the sunset. What do you want to do for dinner? Oh, I don't know. Don't play too much of it now. We'll get a hit.
No. I cut it off. It's nothing. It's gone.
So that's the end. That's it. Godzilla versus Gigan. Hour and 22 minutes for an hour and 22-minute movie.
Woo! That was a damn good movie. I watched it 4 times. I watched 5 times in the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to watch it again tomorrow.
All right. Again, it's either you love it or you hate it. I keep seeing the fact that they didn't spend a lot of money on it, and it makes me angry. The Gigan suit is pretty cool, though. That's where most of the money went.
This is the DVD collecting set where you get 4 posters for free, and you get a special book. And you get a special picture and a special game. There's an actual board game in here. Just a minute, get past Spectrum. There's a board game that you play.
Pieces. That's famous.
And there's a board game that you play in here with all the monsters on it.
Oh.
And of course the DVD.
Did you get a monster dice with that?
No, but you got this. I also have the next one for Megalon. This is quite good. These sets.
All right. Yes, and Megalon is our next one. Next Tuesday, we're going to do Godzilla versus Megalon. Now that's a movie that's so bad, I love it.
Oh, that's great! It's
really bad.
And
I can't wait to dig into it next week. It's going to be fun. And you're going to join us for that, right? You're joining us for the
I got it on my schedule because that's another one of my. I can watch the Gigan, Megalon, Mechagodzilla, and Terra Mechagodzilla. Those 4 I can watch in a continuous loop for 24 hours. I'm
that's the 70s Showa. Yeah.
And the last thing about this movie is that in the 60s and the 50s, the Godzilla movies were released in December before the winter holidays. But in the 70s, they were released the end of the school year, which is the 2nd or 3rd week of March. That's the end of the school year, and there's 2 weeks off of school. So in the 70s, they're trying to get students coming from school to go. And then back in the 80s, they go back to Christmas again.
Oh, okay. When the Heisei series starts.
So this was released in March. These 4 were released in March.
Okay.
And then the Hedera was just released at a weird date because it's freaking messed up movie. I love that movie too much.
So 72. So what are we looking at? 63 years anniversary, something like that.
For which movie?
30 and 50. No, 50. 53. Right?
53. Yes.
Yeah. 53 years for this film.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you again, George, for joining us. Look forward to talking to you next week about Godzilla versus Megalon.
Arigatou
Wake up,
gozaimashita.
and you guys tune into that when it comes. And if you missed this, I hope you catch it in post on YouTube. That's where all of the shows are archived. All 22 of them now. We're almost done with the first season, which is the Showa series. And then we start with the Heisei season. And work all the way to the last 25 films are Heisei and beyond, including the Mothra movies. So tune in for those as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you so much, Professor Walnutt.
Always a pleasure.
And I'm leaving.
Are we saying goodbye? I just want to make sure. Are we saying?
We are saying goodbye. Yes.
Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.